start with a bit of team news. Obviously, Josh went off injured last week. What's the situation with that?
Josh is, as I said in my last interview, he's been sort of exposed to an awful lot of minutes. I think he's played 500 minutes in the last 600, and he's come back from a plantar fascia, so his loads just spiked massively, and unfortunately he's done his hamstring, so he'll be out for between 4 and 6 weeks, I think.
Which is a real shame for him, having already had his injury issues this season.
Yeah, obviously, listen, it's par for the course. That's the job. They've got to play football. We've had an awful lot of injuries, so Josh has probably had to play more minutes than what he needed to, but he's done absolutely great for us. Unfortunately, he's pulled his hamstring towards the end of the game against Forest Green.
Sam wasn't involved at the other weekend. It's like precautionary, or is that something more serious?
Nick?
Yeah.
No, Nick's fine. Just managing his load. He's come back from an injury last season. He had an operation towards the back end, and again we're just managing him carefully. We've got a couple more attackers who can play in that role. So a week off for Sam will do him the world of good. Certainly his hip will do the world of good.
So you'd expect him to be available for selection at the weekend?
He will be available. Yeah.
Fair enough. And in terms of looking back at last week, do you not write it off as a blip, but can you sort of think, okay, we're going to have a reaction to that and see back to what you'd seen a little bit in previous weeks from the team in general?
Well, I think the results previously have been good. Obviously, they've been frustrating. The fans will know that. We obviously should have took maximum points at Salford. Really frustrated with that. And again at Tranmere to be 2-0 up and obviously they get the draw. They'll be delighted. But from our point of view, we were frustrated. And then Sammy Nick goes up the other end and misses a really good chance. Normally one that he puts away. So yeah, frustrated, but definitely signs of improvement. I think you can see that. The lads feel that in the changing room. We've got a really good group. And hopefully we get back to winning ways tomorrow. Yeah,
and obviously Forest Green are a good team, so it makes it more difficult. But the performance levels probably weren't where you would have wanted them in that game. Do you need to get that reaction this weekend in what's going to be a pretty big cup game?
Yeah, obviously it's a massive cup game, but just on the Forest Green game, again we win or we learn, and we come away from that game learning, like we have with every defeat that we've had this season. We've learned, we've reviewed, and we've come back better. The lads at Forest Green are a little bit further down the track. They've got a really settled side. They've had it now for about 3 or 4 years. We're a new group, still trying to find our best formation, best side. So again, they're a little bit further down the track. We will get there. I don't think there was that much in the game. I think the obviously penalty, dubious, mistake from our point of view. I know they had a couple of chances, but when they went down to 10 men, we were just about to put a couple of different players, and you like to think that we get back in the game, and then unfortunately for us, they get a penalty and the game's dead at 2-0.
And you can't necessarily plan to play against 10 people regularly, but because it's happened a few times this season, it hasn't worked out well for you. Is that something you have been able to work on in training in terms of this is what we've got to do better in those circumstances?
Well, in the Salford game when they went down to 10 men, I thought we played really well. I thought we created an awful lot of chances. The lads were passing the ball superbly, 2-touch. We've just got to be better in those final moments. We've got to take our chances when they come. The lads already know that. We've got really good players here, lads who want that responsibility. So against Forest Green, we sort of didn't really have the chance to expose them, because straight away when they went down to 10 men, they got the penalty and they went 2-0 up, and the game completely changes. So on that note, so listen, we've got to be better. We know that. We're not the finished article, and we've been working very, very hard to do that.
Yeah, so obviously promotion out of League 2 is going to be the top priority this season. Where's the FA Cup sort of factor in all this?
Oh, right up there. FA Cup weekend's always a big weekend, especially the second round, because as clubs like Bristol Rovers and Sutton will know, the third round's next, and that's where the big boys come in. So for a club like Bristol Rovers, it's absolutely huge. We'll be going into the game fully focused to get the best result. And again, more than anything, we're at home and in front of our home fans. We've been really good recently, so they've been great, and we want to put on a performance for them.
Yeah, and money is definitely not sort of front and centre for coaches, sort of things to worry about. But if you can get the bonus of a big payday in the third round, or even the prize money, does that help with January around the corner and strengthening squads and things like that?
Well, if you get through and you get a big team, it does. But really, the focus is tomorrow's game. Sutton have done really well this season. Came up from the conference, acquitted themselves superbly. They're going really well in the league. They've got 2 good strikers. So our full focus is on trying to beat them tomorrow, and that's what we've been discussing all week.
You've got them in 2 weeks' time, but Sutton did well in the National League last year, but I don't think anybody would have picked them to be the team that would be where they are. So what do you think it is that they've done so well this season? Again,
the continuity of the squad. Once you win with a team, you have that confidence, you have that belief to find out what my mate's doing next to me. Let's say, for example, I'm a centre-half, I know what my right-back's going to do, the centre-mids will know what the strikers are going to do, and they're quite compact and they're quite solid, and they've done really well. And again, I don't think they signed too many players in the summer, so they keep that momentum going. And like I say, they have done really well. Play 4-4-2. Really good going forward. They've got 2 really good strikers who we've got to keep an eye on tomorrow, which we will. But it should be a good game.